Okay. Ah ja, da waren wir. Egal. Okay. A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Wowshi tape player. Nodding along to the music, he looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secret.
Hardcore!
Is it?
It's hardcore!
You're just gonna keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibberdee, skibber danger. I am the rearranger.
Solve the egghead puzzle. Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think? What?
This is hardcore.
Say nothing.
Hardcore!
Still say nothing.
Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent. All core, alright, yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah!
He lets out an agonized roar over the feebleish, obviously not too hardcore beat below. So hardcore!
Is it though?
Huh? He stops dead in his tracks, tilting his head to the side. It is.
But is it? I mean really.
He tilts his head to the other side like an owl. He feels like he should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent, but you haven't gotten there yet, so you don't know what to say. I don't know what to say exactly.
Under the radar, over the top. Back to the heavyweight. Hardcore! Hardcore!
Is it? I mean, really?
Yeah!
Yeah.
Lakierski, Materialski!
What?
We're close. True, hard, full, core! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent.
I was wondering if you knew who killed the mercenary hanging behind the Whirling and Rags hostel?
Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3, Yeko Kata, the place to be!
Why is this Yekokata the place to be? What does it mean?
Yeko Kata, the hardcore place! We're close. True, hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent. All core, alright, yeah! Hardcore! Ah! Is it though? But is it? I mean really. I am the mic enforcer. I am the chicks checker. Yeah!
But...
True, hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Here comes the night! True, hardcore! Hardcore to the internally coherent. All core, alright, yeah!
please tell me what exactly are you doing?
Gotta get the people going!
Why?
I'm the party boy. It's my job.
I think I'm also a party boy.
2 on a track. Watch your back. Watch out for the heart attack. True. Hardcore. Hardcoreism. Internally all core. Alright. Hardcore. Ah!
No, but seriously, I'm a little worried it isn't.
The question is, what is the question?
That would have been good if I had asked you a question, but I didn't. No, it's just idiotic.
But there was a question?
But
We're close. True. Hardcore. Hardcoreism. Internally all core. Alright. Is it though?
I was just thinking that a moment ago.
One mind, one spirit. There's no other world. There's no other life.
What?
True. Hard. Full. It's hardcore. Skibber-dee. Skibber-danger. I am. True. Hardcore. Yeah.
You can yeah and say random things all day long, but the track still doesn't sound all that hard to me.
Spinning out lyrics since the day I was born. And the amount of lyrics I got is against the law. True. Hardcore. Hardcoreism mega. Here comes the night. True. It's hard. Skibber-dee. True. Hardcore. Hardcore. Internally coherent. All core. Alright. Yeah. Hardcore. Is it though? But is it? I mean really.
The question is, what is the question?
No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
He frowns and starts bobbing his head back and forth once more. Don't be alarmed, everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so. You said you were worried. What do you think is wrong with the music? There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore. Turns pensive all of a sudden. Sometimes I just feel like erotic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, takes this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last month. And will continue pumping for the rest of 51. Isn't something holding it back from being hyper? He thinks for a moment, then his expression clears. It's like it's only ultra. I think it's super hardcore, but you're right, it's not hyper hardcore. It's only ultra hardcore. It is, isn't it? You know, it's an agreement. I knew it. But how could it become hardcore? I know the answer in my heart, but cannot think it in my head. If this is not hyper, how could anything be? Try to think if anything could make it hardcore. What? He looks at you with customary amazement. Guys, there's something happening in his head. Think even harder. But yeah, he's doing it. My imagination fails me. I know, so does mine. He laughs and shakes his head. It sounds suspiciously like a question. I thought the question was, what is the question? No, this is the answer. Wait, I just remembered something. I'm the police. Uh-huh. The young man is bursting with anticipation. Actually, it's more likely to hinder us. Oh. Are you a thought reader? No nation but trans nation. No war but class war. So not a thought reader, you're a communist? He's not a communist. That's just something he likes to yell. He picked it up from a tape jockey at the Elysium. She was a communist though. Yeah, with a rebel yell. But why aren't you a communist? Communism is the truth. I can be a communist. You know, if you want that, do you want me to be a communist? Please don't turn me into a communist. Yeah, turn me into a communist. Come on, it would be super. Be a communist, egghead. The future needs your help. Aight. Aight, he yells. You guess he's a communist now. Your thought reader? Don't be a lunatic. Of course he isn't. Jermaine here just yells random things. But sooner or later one of them will come off as thought reading. Yeah, reversal imperative. Unless we're thinking reversal imperative right now. Anyway, I've had a similar thing happen with X yelling. I know what you mean. But I was thinking reversal imperative. That's fucked up, man. Lying like that. And a cop too. Tell me something else, egghead. Communism rules the nation. He looks at you with an almost impossibly wide, shining grin, looking to see if you approve. Right on, comrade luminary. Here comes the sun. Is your real name Jermaine? The core hardcore, Jermaine Egghead. Basically, yes it is. Why are there lungs on your belt buckle? Lungs are for love. L'amour, la compassion, l'autodiscipline. Love, he suddenly yells and the world seems to stop. In a woman's lungs, lonely as I am not afraid. The strange, damaged feeling goes on and on, cause I've never loved someone like you before. A dopamine surge accompanies the words. It feels like electricity flowing down your scalp, dissipating into your neck. It feels good, like a spark of life in that moribund sponge you call your body. Maybe your body can tell you what Arno van Eyck's jam is missing to make it harder core. Ooh, nice. You know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits should land. So does every corded animal. Needs more bass. What? Young man makes a sudden move, like he's about to turn the volume down, but that would be ridiculous. And a melody. A good melody is what makes a song really stick, so that you can't get it out of your head anymore. Oh, okay. We should start with the melody, but where would we get that stuff from? I don't know, I was thinking you would know. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about erotic music. I'm just a party boy. I get the people going and say it's hardcore. He feels ashamed he can't be of more service to the future of dance music. Okay, I'll look into it in an official capacity. It's up to the police to make the beats go harder. Young man falls silent with appreciation. He even tries to contain a smile, as if it could hinder your investigation. Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix Van Eyck's jam. Yeah, maybe that street hawker across the pawn shop has some tapes to sell. That's just an idea. Anyway, that's all yours to figure out, Cop Man. Cop Man! Yells Egghead. I have a tape with me. Tape, yeah, he grinned. Spin the tape until the space escape, yeah. I got you this banging mega mix. He snatches the tape from your hand and attaches it to the empty reel slot. One hand is on his headphones, he listens to the audio, then shaking his head, he says, No, this is gonna make people scared. He hands the tape back to you. Keep positive, keep the love in the house. Okay.
Go speak to Andre. I'm just annoyed.
Annoyed? Strangely dressed young man says without looking up from his toolbox. What if I want to speak to you first?
I suck at socializing, man. If you go speak to Andre, I'll have time to tune in, get a reading on your side.
Before he's finished talking, he's already turned back to his tools. Maybe you should just stand there, watch him rattle his toolbox, get to know his sign. Okay. The contents of the young man's toolbox are organized in a neat yet eclectic manner. He's constantly checking out the various tools and parts and rearranging them slightly. It's a bit hypnotizing if you look at it long enough.
I have all kinds of screws.
He holds up a handful.
They'll come in handy for fixing the church exterior. Talk to Andre. No point in standing here. The signs are really out of tune.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
His grip is strong, sweaty and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
Young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg!
Egg?
Did someone ask for an egg? Oh, it's the egg. All right, come on in, Roberts. Let's do this.
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably hypnotic music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Wait, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Was there something you wanted? Your friend, the cell, said there was a problem with the church.
Ah, so you've met her. Good. Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it. Enough histrionics. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating.
Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads!
Burnouts.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that, the world!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good, this calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those. I feel like you may be laying this on a bit thick. What's really so bad about these dopeheads and burnouts? They're spooky. What exactly do you mean by spooky? I was hoping it would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is the spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church in the community center, a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't heat or clean a building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spend tapes without them spooking it up. Places bad signs. No one can dance like that. Thank you, Eckert. Turns to you. So, you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter, getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the ecclesiasts meant their property for. I'll look into it. Tell me more. Alright, man. He claps his hands enthusiastically. Andre is obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks. Sal told me Noid put the padlock on the door. Why? I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation. I had to do it in a hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while. I need the key. Of course. Noid, give the officer the key. Alright. Speed Freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden cool infused move, tossing it in your general direction. Be the cool cop. Let the key catch the key as it flies toward you. Yeah. You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches, just the tiniest chime to your left. Catch it. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The Speed Freaks nod to you approvingly. Bask in the glory. Young man with ribcage-shaped suspenders looks at you standing there with a goofy grin on your face. The word August used as an adjective. That's how cool it feels to be old and cool in the eyes of the young. Let's face it, you're near death, yet bathed in the golden rays of stately grandeur. Like a late summer's day, like a daddy-o. Like a tequila sunset. Damn right, I'm tequila sunset. Arriba! Of course you are. It's too late to be at the tequila sunrise, no? There will be no sunrise not for you. How long have those people been locked in there? Not long, like a week maybe. He shrugs. How can you be sure they haven't starved to death? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive. 85% is not good enough when you're dealing with another person's physical well-being. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that. Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are. I'm glad that key is out of my hands now. Right, other questions. Sure man, tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Who exactly are these people inside the church? Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. You haven't even seen them, and you want the police involved? Well, he leans in for emphasis. There's also the machinery. This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety. When I first scouted the place back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together, so about 2 weeks ago we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly there are all these strange machines lying around in there. One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it. Alright, tell me about the feeling. I mean, it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dock. No, it's the other one. Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg. Felt like silence. Awful silence. For this man, even regular silence is awful enough, but that was something greater. But you haven't physically seen anyone? Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times, and we felt someone or something eyeing us inside, but that's kinda it. What was that about some thing watching you? Like, you aren't alone, you know? It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean. There was this dark shape climbing up upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man. A crab man? Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling like a crab. The other one agrees. It was stalking Estelle, exhibiting ambush behavior. Ambush behavior. Crab man. Crab man. Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time. But I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there. So he hasn't even seen in the. So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid? You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab. The implications of this are too numerous to consider. Proceed with caution. Learn all you can before entering that dark building. Can you tell me more about this machinery? You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably checked up to some snuff station too. Probably very likely. So how can you be sure they are burnouts and dopeheads if you haven't even seen them? Well, honestly, I can't, but I am. Why not? Let's go with that. I don't see a single thing wrong with that argument. You know, I'm 70% sure there's substance users. Don't let the technology fool you. Makes little quotation marks with his fingers, then he says, technology. Alright. You mentioned some kind... Ecclesiasts own the church. Who are these? Oh yeah, there's a Meteoran name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it. Before we go on, what do you mean by meteoron? You know of Meteo, concerning Meteo. Meteo? Meteo, a country on Mundai. He looks at you, squinting his eyes to see if you're kidding. On the Mundai Isola? And what is the founding party? Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization. And they have roots in ancient Mars society. Pauses. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnation Church. Plus they annoyed the innocents. They made the innocentic system, no? They sound like exactly the kind who would want loud and nautic music in their church. Right, they do, says without the slightest hint of irony. The Perkinesian church is about love, and nautic music is about love. I got love for my Perkinesian posse. Love is the relay of out of death. We dance. He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it. Love is hardcore. Unity. Unity. Make some noise for my insulating posse. He turns the volume up, then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance. You feel it, the anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters. Feels good. I guess love can be pretty hardcore. Oh yeah, it can. He's coming around. He nods at his friend, then turns to you with a mischievous grin. You get it? You're right. How could the founding party be anything but enthusiastic? Dance music is about love, and so is the Perkinesian church. Yeah, Yakugata, the place to be. He seems ecstatic that he shares vision of Perkinesianism. Pericarnasianism. Hey, Rita, Level 115, ui. Glückwunsch. Do it for the masses, do it for the crew. His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver still in his hand, approvingly so. I didn't want to say, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions? The one with a large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if, they get this club going. You've got it in you. I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment. Yes, what? What's with all the nose of fat? The one now? She leans in to hear you better. The nose of fat ultra. You have a lot of it lying around. Oh, the old ultra. We have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe. You sound fine to me. Yes, he nods energetically. That's all Nosefat's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in the shit right now. Nosefat is the shit. Can I have some? I have some nose problems too. Yeah. Sure. picks one up from the corner and hands it to you. Here you go, officer. The noser. Blast away. So you brought your own water? Yeah. Good to have bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water. And it's distilled too. Oh, he doesn't know what to say. It's the one they sell at the fuel station. I hate to tell you, but it reeks of sweat in here. It does, doesn't it? Tell you we have a smell problem. He picks up a piece of telephone cord and inspects it. But I also smell ether. Why? Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you know it? Nope. It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent, like laundry detergent. He sniffs the air, then shrugs. A shrug is good enough for us. Why say it when you can shrug it? I get the nose of that, but what about the engine starting fluid? The engine starting fluid is for starting engines. What engines do you start with it? Well, with the goddamn Roman Gorod hearings. It's called the fluids for the generator. He points toward the machine. How's that extra high ether content working out for you? Does it do the trick? I guess it does. You know, maybe that slight scent of ether I felt before is somehow connected to ethyl ether? No idea, man. Alright.
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. That's fine, man, but I've got to warn you, our signs are still off. It will take some time for me to get my sight on.
But I thought we'd be okay now, sign-wise. I'm doing what I can. He continues to rearrange his tools. It's not easy for him. It probably took him years to get used to Andre. I saw a sticker on the padlock. Can you tell me anything about it? Sticker? You mean the yellow one? Can you describe it to me? I mean this one. Oh wow, right on your cop ledger. You like it? Yeah, it's cool. It is cool, but it's also more than that. Much more. Ja, Kim ist draußen. Für den ist das hier nix. Noid is a bit disappointed, it's just cool. What's it supposed to be? A dead guy smiling. And what does it mean? Why is the dead guy smiling? He defeated history. We are living in the age of history, and in the eyes of history we are always already dead. How can we ever smile then? Because history is a lie and so are its deaths. The present moment and life are the hardcore. The hardcore expels death. He thinks. Or maybe it's not. He's not dead. Maybe he's just really ecstatic about the beats. I'm thinking maybe the smiling dead guy is a symbol for communism. It's also dead, but doesn't care. He considers this for a moment. Yeah, that interpretation holds. What about now? Are the signs alright now? Nah. Is this wrongly out of sync? Stage gamma disalignment? What? You heard me. Tell me about the machines you saw in the church. Cringes. Weird stuff. Specialized. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery. Why is going into water? Gives off the spy sign. Or some fucked up Sumerian science sign. You know, it kind of goes head first into the supernatural. What's wrong with the supernatural? Nothing's wrong with it. It should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it though. The sickest, but is perhaps why it should be researched. Supernatural. So you think it's real that it actually exists? Most of it doesn't exist, but there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff. Why you call it Noid? Picks up some sort of a widget. The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment. It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of science without some adjustment. Okay. Komische Leute.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean.
I'll help you, alright.
Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
Scheiß Vogel. The others told me you went inside the church. What did you see in there? Oh, that. You're not gonna believe me. There's no point in me telling you. She's less prone to blurting out crap man than the others. We'll see. Go ahead and tell me. Okay. She nods. I went in and saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it the mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's being raised by their grandmother, you know. Strange old clothes. Had this absent expression. Didn't say anything. Just stood still. Go on. And there, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down, like a crab. Down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story. Like, crap, you say? Lieutenant's not. His face is stone. What did this crap man look like? It was too dark. She shakes her head. No, I couldn't tell exactly. You were wrong, I do believe you. Why? Strange things happen. Okay then. They certainly do around me. I'd like to know about your associates. My associates? She blows on her chilled fingers. I haven't got much to say about them. What do you mean? You must know something about them. Of course I do. Just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them. Now what about you? Tell me something about yourself. Me? I'm a silver bird. Okay. Maybe I'll ask later. Okay. Let's go. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city. Yeah. Ui. Strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. Okay. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. Feels like it's trying to become one with the church. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Blackboard is filled with complex equations that look recent. Prayer book has been left open. Bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All of the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. But I think I still hear something. And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Yep. Your voice is barely audible, not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. Stomp and clap. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total somehow. What's happening? Lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head, then he leans closer. Can you hear anything? Can't hear shit. I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics. His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. Whatever it is, it's definitely real. Something odd is happening around us. Lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you. Look up into the bell tower. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead. Try to see beyond. Yeah. Crap, man! It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and is making its way toward you through all the other shadows. On the ceiling? Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. Follow the shadow's movements. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends. Officer, is there something up there? The lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is that you are seeing. Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go? Blink. What? You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Kuno? Maybe it's possible to talk to it. What the fuck? The shadow is a man, but a man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He's studying you intently. The crab man! Are you the crab man? The man leans forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
I bet your alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry. Everything's gonna be alright. You've come to the right place.
Oh. The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of the bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks, and maybe the ceiling climbing too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Sheesh. Yeah, I guess I have a bit of a problem, and it's been getting out of hand lately, but...
Estás crudo, eh? I see deep inside you. Your body and spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence, and you don't even know it.
Oh, I'm very in touch with my suffering.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc el vino is wreaking on your mind and your spirit. Necesitas parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
If the lieutenant agrees, then maybe, just maybe, you should pay attention. Fuck you, crap man. You don't tell us what to do. Tell him. Who do you think you are? Some crazy guy under the roof? What is the shit?
It don't matter who I am, Way. I'm just bringing you the message of their mother's love. She don't want you to hang yourself on your own stubbornness.
His words echo in the cold air of the church.
This is the church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in. This Mother of Silence sounds like a serious player. You might want to be careful until you find out what you're dealing with. I'm going to ask you again. Are you the crab man? Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you've got for me, I won't stop you from using it. It's your neighbors who came up with this name, not me. Considers this for a moment. I always thought of myself more like a frame, flickering along the rafters at beams. Pauses. It may be that I gotta work on my technique. What were you before you became a crab man? I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. I lost my memory. So many people losing their memory. A certain portent of doom. No, I say, it's not like that. Best thing that could happen to you, losing your memory. Do you remember your name, sir? Thiago is my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place among your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. My name sets me apart from my fellows. How often do you meet a Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau? He studies you silently for a moment. Don't think I've met one yet, Holmes. Lieutenant raises his eyebrows and coughs. That was him suppressing a chuckle. What are you doing here? This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. He nods toward the ceiling. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circle it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly. Who is this mother of silence you keep talking about? Oh, that's no simple question, I say. She is one who can't be painted or sculptured. She's a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will. What will happen once you drink from this perforation? I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally at one with the state of the world before reality began. You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another? It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service. Faith is a kind of drug. Shakes his head. I've heard that before, Way, and I know I can't convince you on the spot, but think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night? That drug's darker than alcohol circling your system. I think love might have been my drug of choice, and I think I'm still hungover from it. Looks at you gravely. She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out. I guess you have a point. I know it'll take time, don't sweat it. I still don't understand what you're doing in the church. I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. You should sing for me, the superstar cop. I am from no mariachi, if that's what you're thinking, and the song I sing is silent as the mother. Lost his cool there for a moment, seems to hit some nerve. How did you even find this place, this church? Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way. It didn't belong to me. Right. You've been here a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned? Police raid a while back. Response's voice suddenly fled. Did you witness it? Not really. Not at least, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. Lets you forget about everything. Could be that he just doesn't want to discuss a police raid with another police officer. Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub. The ones in the tent outside, right? I've seen them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me. So what do you think about the nightclub, that is? Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company. He said that in spite of himself, he's more attached to the human than he'd like to think. Do you know where the other spooker is? Other spooker? Oh, esa... Ich hab nie Spanisch gelernt. Oh, esa viejita muy estudiosa. Hilos. Don't know, Holmes. Wait, so there is another person living in the church, and it's a viejita? No, I just call her viejita. Seepapagei, was?
Vieja.
Ah ne, das ist vieja. Ach, und viejita ist dann wahrscheinlich weiblicher. Seepapagei. Okay. Because of their clothes, she's actually quite young. He scratches his head. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear. And you don't know where she is? That's what I said, Holmes. How can you not know that when you both live here? Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just here typing on a computer now and then. We've got different interests. Wie sieht ein Seepapagei aus? Seepapagei. Papageifisch? Papageifische oder Seepapageien? Also nicht mal ein Vogel, ist ein Fisch. Okay. Also Wikipedia, laut Wikipedia ist das ein Seepapagei. Beziehungsweise Papageienfisch. Gehören zu den Barschverwandten. Sicher, dass ich das richtig eingegeben habe. Ich glaube. Obwohl, Moment. Hier hieß alte Frau. Alte Dame, altes Mädchen.
Viejita. Definitivamente, seré como la viejita que vivía en un zapato.
Mhm. Okay, also eine alte Frau. Also, merken. Vieja, Seepapagei, Viejita, alte Frau. Okay. So you've got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does? Who is she? I'm afraid no essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or... He shrugs. I searched through her radio computer. Okay then, thanks. Cracked pane of glass. Colorful. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. Figure drawn in frost in the window, depicting a deer. So ein kleiner Strich über einem großen Unterschied machen. Ja. Sprache. Sprache ist schon was Besonderes. Ach, ich habe ja gar keinen Hut mehr auf. Habe ich nicht mehr Hüte? Two decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty. Portable Harman Wowshy tape recorder. Someone's siphoning an electrical current from outside into this antenna. Machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures of the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity. The radio computer, says the lieutenant, stepping closer. And it's turned on. He seems cautious around the machine. These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks, alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful. We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. Yes, but what is the strange machine thing? Yes, the strange thing. A radio computer. Lieutenant repeats a little impatiently. We have one down at the station. And before you have time to ask, no, I don't know how to operate it or what it's used for. Let's go. That's the RAM Perfect radio computer, model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a RAM-compatible interim printer. Well, let me just investigate it. See, wire send, play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. Lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed. Look inside the compartment. Behind the hedge sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says it's a black marker. Says in a black marker, log feb mar. It's the machine's filament memory plus playtrick says it Biofabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air. Good afternoon. Fortress accident on Saarbrunn. This is the East Inseridian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. This is the personal log. Yeah, is this? This is a human interface. A retired person sitting behind a switchboard somewhere. What's the personal log? The filament you have inserted into the core. You mean that glowing thing with a tape on it that says log feb mar? I don't know that's what I'm asking. Is this the personal log? Yes. Good. Please repeat the password. Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something. But then not towards Tiago. Password? I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint? No. Is it my birthday? Still no. Just the police. Please open the thing. Voice recites. I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder of Fortress Accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel 1, Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament. I'm afraid we're not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month. Now, can you please repeat the password? I don't know the password. Received. I will register this login attempt. Fortress Accident is anything. Okay, goodbye. In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She's impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel. Okay. Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snow drifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass. Close your eyes. The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you, it covers you from the wind outside. The ocean feels distant, its ebb and flow blocked off by the centuries-old pinewood sarcophagus around you. Oof. In the dark, you sense her eyes on you, inspecting you with their multicolored glass, as if you're a bug under a microscope. The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There's a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what compassion, remorse. It's not possible to live. As the great and desperate thought passes through your mind, Lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Do the same. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times, then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles a distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass. Who is this, Kim? It's Dolores Day, he says in a hushed voice. I believe we are in the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records. You knew of the place? It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. He lowers his voice. It was built not long after Reverchol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers. What else do you know? There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sœurs, they called them. The 7 Sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burned in the revolution, or used for building materials. We should be respectful here. Although the building appears to be deserted, I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps. He looks at the machinery lying around. A pang of guilt. The lieutenant is leaving something out. Do you know why it was abandoned? I have a theory, yes. There's a pause, then he continues. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. Who conducted this raid? Well, your station was involved, I hear, although I can't be sure. You're not sure? 3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them. I guess I could have been here. No, I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. There's a pause. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it. Why it was conducted or who participated. I try not to pry into district matters. If I was here, I should find out what I was doing. Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station's secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text leitmotif below them both. What shattered this mosaic? Unknown. Who is this older woman? The escutcheon on her throne says Irene the Navigator. She's depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the Queen, her Innocence Day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, farriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail. Motto. Below both women in luminous black letter, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. Nach dem Leben, Tod. Nach dem Tod, neues Leben. And then along the left side, après le monde, le gris. Après le gris, le monde de nouveau. Monde. Gris. Weiß ich gerade nicht. The trend is used to say after life, death, after death, life again. After the world, the pale, after the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however. Why? It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We're already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing. Where's the RCM motto now? Justice, union, prudence, and force. I like the other one better. So do I. Papa auf Spanisch bedeutet Papst. Uff. Okay. Jo, dann geht's hier dann beim nächsten Mal weiter.